Yo, 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 yo. We back to playing Magics. Constructed. Pioneer Prelim in 11 hours. Maybe we're gonna participate in that. Pioneer League. How much is remaining with Phoenix? Alright, let's drop. Because I wanted to play with Red Black today. Let's go. Red Black Midrange Sacrifice. What's that? Probably Midrange Sacrifice. Probably A-list with Jolred. Yeah. It kinda stinks to play Jolred without Fotsies, I think. The Fable Gamer, yeah. The fabled Fable Gamer. Well, we have to move this. This we don't have to move. To back Blood Crypt. Mutavault. Alright, let's play Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Who leads on Mutavault and passes? Sounds insane. Seacrom Coast. Well, Shackle Guys does that. Thankfully, Shackle Guys is an easy matchup for my deck, so I'm not worried about a dangers that my opponent might pose. Curious Obsession. Well, nice fucking strat. Just play it and like, I guess it works, huh? Cool. Alright, they did play a land, but you know, it did like the way they played it immediately. Okay. I think, well, I think it's Fable. Can beat Shackle Guys. No, Shackle Guys is this. We can beat Rattle Chains. By playing Fable now and fixing my hand. If they have a mana leak, then we would rather Fable still. Probably. It's close. Probably can beat that with either play. If they have Queller and I would rather play Fable now, they have Lofty Danielle, yeah. Then I think I would rather keep the push to double spell on the next turn. Maybe you can crack the blood check. Find Fotsies, another push on the removal. One of those. Another Shacklegeist, okay. Okay. Well. What now? Probably I'm not particularly interested in using Harvest as ability on Shacklegeist. I think we want the racing power. So I think I'll deploy Uroborg. Start by stomping the small Shacklegeist. Make them keep mana up. Zobaczyłam ziomków paczkę. Loses Bone Crusher to Rattle Chains. No, I'm fine with my point Rattle Chains. I'm fine with Rattle Chains because then I can push the... I guess I can tap my guy. That's fine though, that's fine. So they have 1 mana. They could have the Geist Light Schnare, but don't beat that by waiting. Weź spierdalaj, no. Wszystko będziesz mieć, ja pierdolę, no, spiryciarzu. It's crazy. And tapping of the Harvester was actually kind of fine, kind of strong for them. Because now I don't want to spend my blood, but also I would like to spend my blood for the looting reason, but also the blood Harvester wants the blood. Spirits, huh? You just put an aura on your creature and you just hope for the best for however many rounds you're playing in your tournament. And you're like, yeah, that's a good plan. That's what I'm gonna do today. Alright, let's keep the bloods. Kill the Spectral Sailor. Yeah, let's kill the Spectral Sailor. We're gonna see a draw a card ability being activated. Is there a way to go wide around Rakdos? Well, you could argue that the Gruul aggro deck with nice draw. Esika's Chariot was going kind of wide around Rakdos, but like it's not really particularly like necessarily the type of an efficient strat. Or a strat that particularly works well against Rakdos. Sticky Bodies from Mono White kind of does that. Yeah, but Mono White sucks against Rakdos, right? This probably doesn't suck. It's probably a close matchup. I don't think I played the matchup ever. I think I played it with Rakdos a few times, and like it's can die to wedding announcement, but also it's fine. Question was what decks go wide? Yeah. The question was a bit weird. Technically live, but I mean, what kind of life is that? They can activate Mutavault, tap my Bone Crusher. Alright, bro, you win this fucking game, bro. You won. I have nothing. I'm not waiting for you to tap your Mutavault in 10 minutes. What's good against spirits? Is Duress actually good against spirits? Seems like blue-eyed spirits, so no mana leak. I have plenty of non-creatures though. Extinction event seems like a terrible card. Well, if you want to exploit Rakdos, it's not by doing that thing. I don't think so. I kinda would like to go Duress and maybe cut down on this. Shoulder gains life. Rending volley and ritual. Yeah, I don't have rending volley in my sideboard. Could use that right now. Mystery shadow. Does fuck all. What? I think I'll have 2 Duresses because I don't want to draw too many. And I need to cut an extra card, so I'll keep I could also cut Dreadbore, but it's a removal. What do I think the best version of creativity is? I don't like any of them, so I just kind of spend no time thinking about this deck at all. It just seems giga medium to me, and I'm extremely unimpressed by it. Bankbuster doesn't really feel like a main deckable Pioneer card to me. Kinda doesn't, but also, you know, I don't know. It's fine. When I play Lotus Field and when I play Bankbuster, I just play a monster on 3 and they crew attack for 4. I tried Lotus, but I think it's too much for me to master until Athens. What's an easy deck to pick up? I'm thinking Greasefang. I think Greasefang is probably okay to pick up and play. I've been shitting on Greasefang for a while, but I think it's fine. I've been annoyed by Lotus this weekend. So I don't know if I would want to play it. I think Bone Crusher will go. And I play Haunted Ridge into Harvester to have a Pressurer. Bankbuster is standard holdover, change my mind. I mean, so is Blood-Type Harvester and Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And Shoulder It. Well, I guess not even really, because Shoulder It face came from this format, I guess. Could discard twice. I think Harvester though. Actually, I don't know. Bankbuster is way better when everyone is running 4 cut down 4, go for the fraud. Yeah. They play Aura, I get punished hard. No, I don't really get punished hard because Harvester kills the Wanderer. So that's why I wanted to play the Harvester, because I don't get hard punished by the Aura. Yeah, it seems to make sense to play. Since we have the third land guaranteed now, I think we can do this. Cool. I don't know, this sucks. Isn't Greasefang kinda bad right now with all the creativity going around? I don't know. I don't know of all the creativity going around. Second, I don't know what is this matchup like. But you made the assumption in your message that I do not necessarily agree with, that Greasefang is bad against creativity. Greasefang is kinda cringe against Fiery Impulse though. I wish I could take Hengegate pathway. I think I want to take the Lord. Ignore wedding announcement. Take Curious Obsession. Or just leave them with 2 lords, but that's I don't beat 2 lords. They don't necessarily have land number 3 on 3. Thank you, Tristan, for your numerous months of subbing. But I mean, seeing this hand, I wish I I casted the Blood Tithe Harvester. Would have worked out. Well, not even really. A little bit better, maybe. Oh, they have another Lord. Crazy. Their hand is Apparition. And wedding announcement now. They play Lord and you trade, can't kill the Lord, and then you take the same cards if you'd harvest that. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I guess it's not even better. Opponent is obviously gonna play their land number 3 now. I guess I wish my Haunted Ridge was a Blackleaf Cliffs this game. That way I would have Thoughtseize, took the Wanderer probably. I play Harvester before I play your first monster, and then what? Still, they could just blatantly put Obsession on the Phantom. Alright, they missed. Awesome, 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 awesome. They have Apparition, so I don't really want to deploy Jolred. I don't particularly care for Harvester, but I think I'll just discard Jolred here. And I play 2 cards. Maybe I go Bankbuster draw. Maybe I do play Jolred, but it seems so bad. Well, if I don't play Jolred, they can play Apparition. They can play Wedding Announcement over Apparition. I think they'll exile the Fable, honestly. I can discard Bankbuster, and then I have mana freed. So yeah, I keep Harvester because of the Fable and play Jolred because the Fable is already a good target. Yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah, so I'll discard the Bankbuster because I don't have time to fuck around with it. Maybe we can draw a land or removal. Mutavaults, I don't mind. And if they miss a third land drop, then Jolred is gonna gain me a few life points too. Yes, Jolred gets Apparition, but we already have an Apparition great target on the battlefield, so it makes sense to put a second one into play. They might have drawn a counter spell of some sorts too, but it's the best play if they don't have the third land. I think it's Jolred. What'd you draw? The snare. Sure, bro. They don't play mates up here. They play guys like snare, and also they had Lofty Denial game 1. They have a combination of that. Harvester would have dealt 6 damage by now, that would be a 9. Bros, have you watched the Eurovision? Actually watch an hour of it, because I was staying at Zerg's house for the Asikios and he put it on the TV and we mindlessly stared at it. You wouldn't trade Harvester for Wanderer? Yeah, no, I'm not sure. But maybe I wouldn't. It seems reasonable not to. Crow shut up. Alright, I actually only watched a little bit. I have no idea who won and I can't say much about that. Their board would have be a 2-2 Harvester countering your discard. Sure, that's whatever. First combat. So we don't get Lofty denied over a Mutavolt attack. Seems better, I guess. Close, actually seems close. What was the Polish Eurovision song? Song request, Polish Eurovision 2023. Blanca solo live, grand final. Sure. I've seen debating between staying on red black for the season or I've been debating between staying on red black for the season or trying Greasefang, Monogy or Lotus Field. How do I feel about those decks? Well, should try them. Yes. Think I had a medium time with Lotus at my RCQs this weekend because I think Lotus doesn't actually really have a favorable matchup against the builds of red black that people are playing nowadays with 7 or 8 discards, 3 Joldreds, 4 Joldreds, Mutavolt, speeding up the clock, all that stuff. So I don't love Lotus Field. Greasefang I have not played much, and Mono Green I think it's the same as it was, which is not actually all that good. They attack all, you have lethal. Do I? I actually do, yeah. That's funny. Not anymore. Well, no, I still do. This one doesn't block creatures without flying, so. Yeah, the Shota improvements, I think they are real. Are you confident that Mutavault doesn't fuck up your openers? Well, I played 26 lands. Of course, it's, not really a combo of Bloodtide Harvester, but I have 23 lands to cast my Harvester on turn 2. What were the Shota improvements? The Mutavault, more discard, I think. Nice draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So potentially missing out on the Mutavolt attack was game losing. Someone won a local RCQ with 1 invoke, Despair main, 2 side. Makes sense. If you're keeping non-functional hands, that's not your mana base's fault. What? Then how is it not a Mutavolt's fault if you... Of course you can get 2 landers with Mutavolt. That will be unkeepable because it's a Mutavolt. How is that not your mana base's fault? Whose fault is that? Point me. Of course it's the mana base. Alright, how can I win? The alternate build has 2 or 3 castles and 5 swamps, often missing red. Alright, is the 5 swamps or mutavaults? Like, which one casts this better and makes your hands worse? Like, obviously, mutavault makes your mana base a tiny bit worse. Like, you can't argue against that. That's it's just true. What can we draw? What if we're gonna do this? Kill Phantom Supreme. Discard then. Discard Black Cliffs. Well, I think Mutavault is a good creature for this deck. That's what I think. We drew Dirt though. Guess punish for playing Jaldred into the Geistlight Snare. Would have been slightly better off had I cast 2 spells on that turn. Also missed a Mutavault attack which flipped the race, so things could have been done this game. If we played then last turn we had lethal. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that things could have been done. Why didn't I play that then? Oh, I played around Lofty Danielle. And they had a creature. So I played a different land. I think it's very likely I was also just supposed to play Harvester on turn 2 and attack my opponent instead of just going for the 2 discards. I think I was supposed to attack my opponent, I didn't. Yeah, I agree, Adam. Just want to be able to have aggression in my deck. But yeah, I should have just played a Harvester attack with it. The double discard line was just terrible, I think. How are you feeling about Sacrifice? Has a great red-black midrange matchup. And currently has a peak meta share. I think it has peak meta share on Goldfish because Goldfish fails to classify Rakdos mid and Rakdos Sacrifice as different decks at this very moment. I don't know why. Also, I wouldn't say that Sacrifice has a great Rakdos matchup, but it's probably a bit ahead, yeah. Gonna play Fable, I think. But I like Sacrifice. It's a deck I'll play. And I played it plenty. I played it at a PT, I like it, and certainly an option. What about removing 3 Joldrats and add Shirobaki? Good idea. Thank you for the raid, Jendrik. It's the Polish song. Show ya, show ya. I could show the clip on the stream, but then the VOD is gonna get blasted because Eurovision blasts the VODs a lot. Single mention of that is gonna blast the VOD. I recently tried green white vehicles and I liked it a lot. I don't know what's green white vehicles. Dromoka's common lines up very nicely versus meta decks. The famed Dromoka command answering Fable of the Mirror Breaker fully, huh? I don't know about that, but I guess I'll look up Dromoka's command decks. Celestial vehicles, user submitted. Why is it called vehicles? Is that the deck? No, widzę 4 pojazdy. What is funny is that people call those decks vehicles, and then Greasefang is actually not a vehicle deck. Or rather, it's not called that. Being able to play Archon of Emeria, certainly a thorn in Lotus's side. Although I don't know. I mean, you could play Dumping Sphere in your deck. Like that is legal. You can play Dumping Sphere in Gruul, and you will just win against them. All right, so let's go to my draw step, and we're gonna see stuff. Dumping Sphere is a very easy target for Lotus. I would actually argue opposite. If you have a creature deck, then if you try to use Archon of Emeria, you're gonna be running into the sweepers, which they're incentivized to switch towards anyways. So if your entire deck is creatures, I think Dumping Sphere is actually better backup, and saying, oh, they have Boseiju in their deck is, I think, just it's not a problem because they don't Boseiju everything. Like the Dumping Sphere problem is that it cuts you off from their mana, so easily enough you can curve your creatures. Once they'll play Lotus Field, you can punish them. So I don't even know if Archon is better out of this deck than Dumping Sphere. Stone Drain is better than Dumping Sphere if you're talking red-green options. No, it's not. Have you played much Lotus? Because I think that's like a thing that people who don't play Lotus think much. But it's really, there are constraints on the game. You have to combo off quickly before you die. It's not trivial. I think Trespasser is whatever. I think I'll go for the Throw Joldred in this turn. Although Fozzie's Joldred is interesting. Fozzie's Fable maybe. Yeah, because it's actually easier to get rid of Archon in many ways because you can just those their best play was Yorion. That's kind of odd. This is a bit of a tough situation. I don't want to play Shoulder without discard spell. I do want to attack. Second Fable is not gonna have much to damage. But I think it makes sense still. Next turn you're gonna Thoughtseize Shouldered. We still have the 2 Fables and ready to flip 2 stuff. So let's spend Power Word Kill. Probably they don't play any artifact creatures. I mean, I could not play the Fable, I could play the Thoughtseize, but I think I'll take on their next spell and I play the Thoughtseize afterwards. Next turn Thoughtseize into Jaldred. Like maybe they're BTLing for a sweeper or something, but then they don't BTL for, let's say, Valky. The Fables flip. I don't even know what exactly they are, but they look like a Niv Mizzet deck, maybe. Thank you, Erbo Wadhi. But yeah, Stonebrain against Lotus. If you can like elf it out and name Lotus Field, that's fine. But you typically don't do that in time. Like I guess with an elf on the play you do. The Niv from yesterday challenge probably. Yeah, I've seen that Claudio won a challenge, so I also assumed that there is a high likelihood that my opponent is on that deck. Alessandra, Queen of Kings. Slay Queen. Slay Queens, bros. When is deliberate. Niv is a bit scary. Puts Clotties, Yashar, and Bring to Light and Abrupt Decay into their hand. That's a shit ton of cards. Discard Yashar, okay. So I think I keep my hand and cast everything. Now their Mutavault is actually a nice draw. Well, so they will Bring to Light for sure. They have a second sweeper, they probably do. Let me look up the deck list from Claudio. What should you name with Slaughter Games versus Lotus? Depends. Yeah, it depends. If you have Caryatid in your deck, you can name the Wincon. But if they play something weird, then you don't know if they maybe play the Peer into the Abyss or something like that, and then it's useless. Yeah, they have the Glib Weaver. I don't think I can do much. Maybe I'll take Vanishing Verse for them to be inefficient at least. The Mutavaults and the Jaldred Ping hopefully gonna. Get us there for the last damages. Take 7, that's nice. Next turn I can Mutavolt. If we draw a land, we can also play Shouldered after 2 Mutavolt that's attacking. So they would go to 3. They did reveal the Glyph Weaver even to me, so they have that for sure, I guess. No shit. But yeah, I guess if you play against Lotus and you slaughter games, taking away hidden strings is a way to make sure that they need more resources to combo off, but it's still very winnable if you're gonna just sit there for the 5 extra turns that you got. But yeah, it's one of the names, hidden strings. La 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 la. Na, na, na. Chat, remember that you can request songs so you can listen to some fun stuff. Find this deliberate. I guess I was deliberate too. Maybe they drew it. No, they can't draw the Glyph Weaver. They revealed it from Niv Mizzet, so we know they cannot draw it. Have I ever bought a crime? Not that I remember. So be unclear what that would mean, so I'm not sure. Oh, come on, bro. I assume their deck has Omnaths. No new card stream. Oh, it's even that Supreme. There is a new card. 3 Omnaths. I don't like Aftermath. I don't like... It just... I don't like it. It's mini set, expensive, it's weak, it's unattractive, it's commander cards. There's plenty of stuff I don't like about it. Yeah. Can I draw anything? That's really good. I think getting the attack with Mutavolt now is really good, but they have another BTL that can get Omnath that we can have a push for Omnath, yeah. I think we actually activate 2 Mutavolts this turn. Because we have to burn them out. Mom has a few cards that are kind of playable in Pioneer. Yeah, sure. It does. And I don't like the set. Even if it has a few cards that are playable in Mom. The push actually wasn't a bad draw if they go for Omnath now. I think we can actually get them. I do have to burn a treasure for my push, but 8 flare is good now. Do you actually think it's good? Or do you think it's good now? This time for sure. Soap. Before Siege Rhino, that'll be horrible. They could get anything else. They could get T-Bot and exile my reflection. Which I don't mind as much. Cast BTL for 5 and then I guess I'll figure it out later. My opponent fought. Karab God. No life gain. There is the Trespasser for life gain. I think it's over now. Maybe we can use a removal spell with the blood. Then we attack with reflection. 2 mutables to go to 3 life. Well, they can remove Jolred and reanimate the Trespasser with what we know of. Their hand is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they can with a land. We'll be at 6. Attacking with Mutavals deals 0 damage. I think we Jolred. We have 1 Bone Crusher now, so a second Bone Crusher is gonna be useful too. As a way to burn them out. Because if they go to 6, that's fine. That's just... Okay, whatever, yeah, bro. So good at this game. So this we weren't beating. Their hand is DK, Clotis, Nahiri, Extinction Event. They reanimate Trespasser, gain a life point. O2 incoming, it's game 1. And they don't have a sideboard, so can take advantage of that. DK. Donkey Kong is here. Attacking is kinda ballsy. Maybe. I can push Trespasser, attack them down to 4. I guess another Bone Crusher can actually win the game still. There's no more special cards in the graveyard they can reanimate for effects. They've missed it, but I don't know if that reaches life gain. So I guess even Joldred would help. What'd you get? They've missed it reborn, yeah. Defending Clarion, sure. So we die to Defending Clarion, would give lifelink to Scarab God. Well, let's see if they see that. I guess she really is reborn, yeah, and if Mizet actually reborn. Nine, so they stomp to 7, and I just need to top deck 5 damage, which is not possible. This game was close. If not for the leyline binding, they were dead. How do we sideboard here? Well, we board out the pushes. And we bring in, let's bring in everything. And then decide what to cut. So Misery Shadow is a bit mid. Call against commands, the value card, but pretty tame one, so I don't want it. I don't think so. Call against command seems useless. No, it doesn't seem useless to me. It seems just bad. I can have the big removals. Power word kill. I guess let's cut power word kill on the basis of not even killing the dragon. I could cut a Bone Crusher, a Sholdred. I think Roxa is okay. Go Blank is arguable, but I think it backs up 7 discards nicely. Maybe I don't want 4 removals. Liliana seems okay. Maybe a Graveyard Trespasser comes out. I think Trespasser is good to back up discards as a pressurer. Bone Crusher is just Stomp Face, so probably gonna cut a Bone Crusher. ×1. Derek disapproves power word kill cut. Well, my opponent's a Niv miss a deck. I have 4 removals. 4 removals sounds good to me. So Derek can disapprove, but Derek would also say that Fable is literally the only good card and Shoulder is the other literally only good card, and maybe Bloodlight Harvester to some extent, but besides that everything is bad. So I think it's just fine to disregard a little bit. So Red Black really is a scam. Well, I don't know. I mean, we played like super close games. It's also probably not a good matchup. Like that's the go over the top deck. Let's see if I'm able, if I top deck a Mutavault with my Fable in hand. Blood Crypto. I could attack, could play Bone Crusher attack with the Bankbuster. It might actually be stronger than Fable. They could have Abrupt Decay, Vanishing Verse. My Fable also probably filters the second Fable. Maybe the Takenuma too. Looking for discard. If I don't play Fable, my next turn is kind of weak though, for sure. So I think it's Fable. It makes for a better turn next turn, even though I don't deal 4 damage right now. Maybe Bondad in attack for 4. That's what I was considering, but then my next turn kinda stinks. Especially if they have a removal here. The Dreadbore is from Secret Lair Metal Posters cards. Smooth out the hand. Well, I think my hand is super smooth though. Already. Actually, no, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to fix my hand a little bit. But now also playing Fable the turn before makes for a better turn right now because I can draw a card with Bankbuster and play the second Fable. So I probably should draw first. I guess. I'm gonna do those anyways. I would play red pathway, for example, over the swamp, but now I play the swamp. Okay, opponent is on the Vanishing Verse train. Are they Omnathing? They had a blood mana floating, so it would make sense for them to Omnath. Yeah. Opponent does not like Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Doesn't my opponent's deck play Fable? It actually doesn't. You'd think it actually makes sense in a Nimbus deck, but you got to fit double Clothis somehow. Kill. Kill and then what? I think I draw. Kill, play Crusher, attack for 8. I can't. I have 1 red land. Weak against the Sweeper on 5. I guess draw first, draw discard spell. Go blank. Dreadboard this. Attack. Play Bankbuster, I think. Next turn I have 5, 6 mana. With an ability to draw 1 card for 1 mana. 2 Bankbusters set up to crew. I can use the first one, crew the other to attack on the next turn if I do this. I can go blank them. I can stomp them. They are at 14 life right now. Of course, another Omnath into a Fabled Passage, into a Bring to Light, into Niv Mizzet would be a little bit hard to beat, but we'll see. Doesn't seem like that's what's happening. Opponent's avatar is very cute, thanks. You're very cute too. Does bank busting make you feel good? It doesn't. They put Clotis and BTL into their hands, so not even too much. We draw Sock and Zan. I think we lead on drawing. What if I activate Hive? Draw. Activate Hive, crew, attack. The Bank Buster Stomp. Go blanking is useless right now. I don't care for it. Haunted Cringe. You can use Sock and Zan to deal a bit more damage. PWK can't kill Nev. Yeah, I bought it out. I have various removals in my deck. One Dreadbore, one Power Word Kill, one Heartless Act, one Go for the Throat. Not gonna let myself be bullied like this. Ah, that's bad, I guess. I have the Trespasser in my deck. Bad one. Maybe he blocks. I mean, opponent blocked. They're at 5 life now. Gonna try to burn them down, kill them off with the hives. Seems possible. They could also BTL for Omnath. Gain life. Just scary. How do I kill Omnath? This fucking guy. Oh, did they put this into their hands? No, they had it. Yeah, Clarion makes sense, but they are at 11. It's not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. We have some powerful draws like Liliana, Mutavault. Stompface, Animate Hive, Crew Bankbuster attack for 7. They have an instant. Alternatively, draw with Bankbuster. Hoping for Liliana. It's not much else than just Liliana. That's actually good removal. It kind of sucks. Such a hard deck, damn. So since they have a removal, I don't think I can win the race. So I think I have to take the draw with Bankbuster. Try to find something nice. Okay, let's do this. Stomp face. Play the Bone Crusher. Crew. Attack. Play the Fable with the treasures post combat. They can BTL for Omnath. That will happen. And that is a problem. Busted. Okay. Well, that's good for us, sort of. I mean, I don't know if it's good for me. Only slightly so. Opponent BTLs for Omnath gains 4. Hopefully not 8 with Fabled Passage, but... We also got 5 minutes 40 seconds only. So we have to click cards now. Draws a card with Omnath, Locus of Creation's ability. Plays land, goes to 13, attacks me down to 6. And now we think... Doesn't attack, okay. And plays Bankbuster on their own. Bankbuster in a Niv Mizzet deck is such an odd card. Let's discard Hive and Pathway. I think discarding 5 Hive is kind of free. Alright, we don't have aggressive lines now. I think I'm a little bit fucked. That's not bad. It's not bad. Well, it's pretty bad, but... And it's their turn, I guess. Four mana. 5 mana. The Scarab God. Feel like you should have killed Niv there. Why? Because if it just attacks me, I'll die to it racing me. Well, you're probably right. If they draw a land, they also go. Yeah, I mean, if they. Yeah, both a spell and an untapped land fucked me. Maybe they would have drawn a Triumph. Sanction even would be nice, I guess. Kinda. But it's over, we dead. Alright, we O2'd. Let's drop, let's play a new league. We lost the spirits. Why do I play Noxious Grasp, I wonder, and not... Like, why do I play Noxious Grasp? This is your first league with red-black. It's the first league, first time. For Green Walkers, right? Well, but the Green Walker is colorless. It's Karn, right? I mean, it scales like Cavaliers, all that shit, but... Play Rending Volley instead. Grasp is for humans, mono green, and Gruul vehicles. Sure, I mean, so like you list the decks that have targets in them. So I like understand that. But I don't know. I guess like there is no better answer to a question about a removal spell, but I don't care for a 2-mana removal spell particularly much. I feel like I have 4 of those in my main deck already, but what about the new card, Lithomantic Thing? That's a sorcery, so it has no upside over Ending Volley. Well, it does have an upside. It answers the fairy time Hero of Dominaria, which Ending Volley doesn't. But for the most part, it actually doesn't answer so many of the things that you need it to answer. Have I tried any Aroma combo decks? I have not played with them. They seemed pretty weak to me when I played against them. Where I feel Grasp shines is the ability to cover a lot of the cards the PWK does not deal with. Sure, but I think that's a problem that you introduce yourself when you play 4 power word kill like a buffoon. I just play 4 different removal spells and I mean I just don't have blind spots for literal pool decks in my removal spell suite. One of Enjoyer, yeah. Like I don't get like there is an Angels theme deck and there is random creatures of the listed types on the card in the format, but then people also play 4 copies of it. I don't know. Human. Giganta humans. Okay, we're not stomping on turn 2. Doesn't seem like. Angels is a buy though, post board. Even with 4 power PWK. Well, what do you have in your sideboard? But also sure, and also yeah. But also so what? It's still like I prefer to have a deck that's not trivial to exploit, but maybe that's just me. I think I'll stomp Thalia now. It also doesn't matter if a matchup is a buy or not. Wow, Giga punished for doing that sorcery speed. I was thinking if they can have some tricks, and that was their trick, I guess. So rough. Is it Fable time? Fable trades for this, it's fine. Fable to like fix this shit hand. Typical play. You look at your hand, it's like shit, it stinks. I need to loot cards. Do I think Rakdos is the best deck of the format? Maybe. I don't have a strong opinion on that, but it's a deck that I have played with relatively little. This I am sure of. Boros humans. Do you think they play Vanifar in their deck? There was something like that with Vanifar. When you say it's a buy anyway, I feel like that encourages you to be lazy about deck building. Maybe it does encourage that, but what it does do for sure is it um it doesn't matter, right? Because a matchup being a good matchup does not imply that you don't want to improve against them. Like, why? You just improve. What I meant is that your cyborg drafts cover the matchup while the spread of removal spells like Go for the Throw and Dreadbore makes some of your close to bad matchups worse. Yeah, but doesn't matter if they're bad or good. Like, what you should argue is that you think overall it's gonna lower your matchups if you play non-power word kills. But my intuition tells me that it's easier to get exploited if you play power word kills only and you run into problems. Although it's possible that I would want a Go for the Throat or the Dreadbore to be another power word kill. And also, like, you also understand that and you, like, just intuitively grasp it because everyone grasps it, but... Or I guess not everyone grasps it, but... It's kind of hard to disentangle that, and it's my pet peeve. Colagans commands, Bankbuster, Go Blank, Croxa. Maybe I play Croxa against them. One Thoughtseize less. Why not Event? Yeah, the cards that I have in my deck sack, I want Event over that. Like Misery Shadow, Mystery Shadow I can keep maybe, but it blocks. Like Thoughtseize -1. Liliana seems pretty rough against Talia and the other guys, yeah. Like even this awkward against Agros, but you can play with them. If I had the Ritual of Suit, I would board it in against creature decks, yeah. You have considered taking out Power Word Kill completely and just play 2, go for the throat. That I don't love because both exists. And I think both exist in a greater capacity than angels exist. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep this. I don't have Bankbuster, so it's not that trivial to rebuild. Yep, both is way more dangerous versus Rakdos than angels. So like yeah, you can structure the argument so that what's multi 5? So that you think that both is more dangerous and you improve more by being able to beat both and it's also more common, and then it makes sense to like use that as a basis to play 0, go for the throat, so put back the 4 mana cards. How do you intend to cast this, bro? Go for the throat is just lame versus Greasefang too. Why? You keep kill Greasefang with it. But yeah, like I have one go for the throat in my matchup against them. So like that mismatch can happen, but I think I'll cut the red borb actually. Because it's kinda stinks, but well yeah, you can't kill a chariot, but like you have 3 removals that kill, well I guess okay. Let's cut the dreadbore and let's have another power word kill. Like you have 3 removals that kill chariot, you have 1 that doesn't, right? Even more so, you have 7 that kill chariot, you have 1 that doesn't. It's fine, save 1 to kill your Greasefang. I don't know, bros. If I take Thalia, I get fucked, so we don't want to do that. I'll just take the company. Maybe I'll take the specialist. I play Thalia and we sit there, stare at each other. They could use Giganta to cast their company. The Thalia locks in from the company for a moment. Let's take the specialist. But then my harvester cannot, you know. Just gonna chill, I guess, with the harvester. If my opponent plays a Thalia, depends what we draw. If we draw a Fable, then we kill Thalia. If we draw something else, we can push Thalia attack. Maybe that's good. Once they have no specialist. They didn't have the company mana, so it's taking a while to get there. Dealing damage seems good. If I draw a Harvester, I guess I'll play under Harvester on this turn. So I'll discard Haunted Ridge. That makes my Harvester unable to trade with this anymore. Ever. which is fine. I get to deal 3 damage and maybe 5 more, down to 12. They top the counter specialist, I get Giga punished, but I'm hoping that's not gonna happen. But yeah, that seems like good mana spendage to me. If they draw their Thalia, that could be, of course, bad too. They did draw the green swords for company. They did draw their fucking extraction specialist. And I just don't want to live anymore in game. Well, that locks their company on the next turn. If I can have that much solace in my play. We just need to take the company head on. There's no point in keeping the harvester, not trading. Because they gain life with their creatures, so the damage from my creature is useless. Plug red made unplayable, sure. So I don't understand this card. Like, what is it about? Does it do something in their deck? Like, they play company, so it's not a Vanifar deck. Even actually might be great if they had 2 free drops. Giganta with haste. Taps for 5 mana immediately. Sorcerer speed the company because of the haste person. Makes sense. It's to haste Adeline, obviously. Yeah, true. Heavy trespasser, nice. I guess Extraction Specialist is a Vanifar card too, because you played alongside some sort of a sack outlet. They played out an Otawara here? Why? Their hand is Giganta and Unknown. Why they play Otawara? Heartless Act. Summon Nail of the Graveyard Trespasser plus Thalia's Lieutenant. I wouldn't even be surprised. I mean, the Heartless Act is perfectly fine here. It's for the Giganta. Why? 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 Nice Heartless Act. Well, it's actually nice. It's fine. Why did they play the Rotawara? They didn't use it on either turn. What made them feel like they want to play it? Don't get it. Crocs are scared. No, they have cards in hand still. Did I beat Zelda 2? We played Zelda 2 for 2 hours today during the first stream. I have not came close to beating Zelda 2, but I cheesed a shrine by ignoring the lengthy puzzle and building a ladder from the materials available. Swamp Bite, thank you. You only just got to the surface in Theorems of the Kingdom. You mean you finished the tutorial? Oh, I played it for 4 hours on Friday, and then I finished it in 4 hours. But it's plenty of stuff you could waste time doing. Okay, we lost. We lost. If I knew they're gonna draw another copy of Extraction Specialist, I wouldn't have thought he's dead. How did the RCQs go? The RCQs made me slightly dislike Lotus Field and made me think that it's not even particularly good against Red Black. So I didn't win. I spent a bit over $150 to get a single copy of Unholy Heat for the weekend. So overall, it's been a good time. Well, I've played plenty of the Green Devotion. I mean, I'll probably play it at some point a little bit, but I think the deck stinks a bit too. I don't know if you keep those. Attack with Mutavolt on 3. Mult to 5, opponent ripped second specialist, green source, and second Coco off the top. Yeah, true. They the game lined up better for them than it did for me. Copper Code is goated. What's Copper Code? The new lord from Aftermath? Is it time to retry Mono Green Gentleman? Well, I'm retrying it all the time. Let's say I keep this because I don't know, I'm tilted by my hands being bad, so I'm not gonna let the game bully me any time any bit longer. It's interesting if I fought season 1 though. Let's be optimistic, I'll try to drop. If it wasn't Heartless Act and it was Spy Walking, you could say go Padlitsky the Lieutenant and EE their board. I still would have EE'd, I think. This deck. The creativity. Y% weight on EE for Giganta. Then I would have killed my Fable too, but maybe you're right. Not attacking a Mutavolt on the next turn, let's save 2 life. Well, if I get to EE 2 free drops and Giganta, that is actually truly insane. That's a nice draw. We get to exile the Magma Opus. Magma Opusi. Or discard a card. Discards Magma Opus. Alright, I guess nothing changed, but they have one card. And they just put back something, right? So we play Jaldred and we win. Because their deck doesn't have removal for Jaldred. Maybe I did lose the game because of the Heartless Act. Which then puts me in an awkward position. Think we go suck hands on. Well, it doesn't really suck versus humans. It's a pretty narrow set of scenarios where, like, they will play a creature without a counter throughout the game. It doesn't suck versus humans. It's slightly awkward against humans at times. Like, you can't say it sucks against humans. Adeline, 3 mana. You kill it for 2 mana. That's great. It's just the Loitan lines. Loitan situations. Will you be adopting the name Misplaced Piotr during the Red Black Mid arc? Well, we'll see. We'll see how long the arc is gonna last because I've got my ass beaten. Can I grab my Kingpin back? Yeah, sure. Trade me. I ended up not playing with it, but thank you anyways for the cards. Thank you. Shelley plus Fable equals best friends of for all formats. I don't know, maybe. I don't know about Colagon, but if they play the Power Stone card, can kill treasures, mess with their creativity. Probably don't want free busters. All two formats, yeah. Probably maybe buster is better than a giant. Maybe Croxa. They play Fable potentially, and then it's good to have the Bone Crusher. Liliana seems okay. This seems okay. 2 removals. They might play the Shrimp. Which I don't know how much it matters to me that they play the Shrimp. Let's go to 3 Bone Crushers. Shrimp with Opus would be pretty funny. I think I've seen lists of the Opus deck with Shrimp. I don't know why it's funny. Because it's another spell? I was thinking about something and I wanted to check or finish a thought, but I got distracted and I don't know now. Wow, timely duress. We'll play Red Black Mid in Valencia. I don't know what I'll play, John Star. I will not go to Valencia now. Red Black certainly seems impressive in a straightforward, just good cards way. Yeah. At the same time, I currently... Typhoon? Maybe Divide. So I'll get bullied by the Divides, but maybe it's fine. They don't get to cast to spend mana if I take the Typhoon now. Like, I'm all free right now. It's just good cards, hashtag. Probably Shouldered, yeah. Guess the bounce spells. Maybe, I don't think it's Shouldered. It's probably Bone Crusher Giant. Nice. Bone Shit is close to shit as well. Thank you for your insightful just knowledge about stuff, John Star. You're awesome at being insightful. It's probably gonna be Hairs, replay Hairs. They're too smart for their own good, I guess. For my own good. I mean, I guess they're not very... I mean, they're slightly incentivized to cast it. Wow, that seems... I mean... I guess. Let's exile the instance. I'm at 5 cards. They cannot draw free with Teachings of the Archaics, Environmental Sciences. Yeah, I don't care. Sorcery Lesson. Oh, land. Childred. I think we have to play a card that will make them cast a Divide by 0 for sure. I could go Colagon's Command, destroy treasure, make you discard in your upkeep. If I play Shouldered, she gets bounced. Then they have no more bounces and I get to play normally. If I play Fabled, it gets bounced too. But what if it doesn't? What if they for some reason don't bounce Shouldered or Fable? Then which one is better? Probably better to have the Fable in play then. So I think the Fable makes them bounce more. Seems kinda whatever. I think I'll play the Fable. The Colagon's Command on Treasure discard seems a bit too weak to me. Can try to do that next turn if they keep up 6 mana. What happened? What they learn? Learns. Teaching of the Archaics, yeah. They might not bounce Fable. Yeah, like technically they could, but I think it's unlikely. Hairs plus hairs seems okay. No, but they're gonna bounce at the end of turn then. This might be Joldrad time. Spends mana, the best punishes the looting a little bit. Punishes teachings. Hellspress removal seems like they're gonna cast teachings. Draw 2. Will I be trying out a blue-white control player arc? No, I'm not gonna play blue-white at the other tournaments. So I don't play those decks. It's clearly like fine, but not fine enough. So I just like not. It's not the best deck, so I don't need to. So I will not. Can only answer shouldered by 2 blue in bounce mode. Well, potentially, yeah. Or 2 removal spells. But they also have so much life points, right? If they're gonna find a Gearhawk into Shouldered, that's a big punishment. Has press removal. It's just such a weak play. If they go Gearhawk, it's actually recoverable from. So I think I actually can afford to play a Shoulder, and also if it sticks, then it's actually the best. Okay. So they upkeep. They don't even take 2 damage. Like 2 damage is too much for them. That's funny. I think you could take 2 damage here to Luke at your doorstep. Because if you draw a Gearhulk, you would rather play the Gearhulk, right? But I guess you do you. I would like to draw an untapped land so I can play the Hairs plus Colagons maybe. Did they draw the mystical 3 cards? Yeah, they actually drew 3 cards with teachings. Crazy. But now they have. I think I'm locked into playing Shouldered again because they have Mascot Exhibition. If I want to beat that, then the Shouldered is needed. Although I could play. No, actually, no. It's not that big. 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 1. Oh, they did discard it. They don't have it. What? That's interesting. So, Hair's Fable? For me, let's do Hair's Fable. Make Gearhulk weak and unlock my hands. Discard 1 shoulder at maybe the Trespasser 2 on the next turn. Gain an extra mana with the Goblin if available. Find a discard, check their hand, play shoulder at unopposed. I think that's the plan. I just hardcast Opus next turn. Well, if they have an Opus in their hand, they hardcast it, sure, fine. I mean, what if they don't have Opus in their hand? I guess it's revealed, but they don't have it in their hand. It's not there. I mean, they let me block, so I assume they don't have Opus. Although they might want to wait till my upkeep, and then it's actually a reason to block now for me. How useful is the extra mana? slightly useful. They target card in graveyard with Gear Hulk, question mark. Yes, Gear Hulk targets. Okay, yeah, of course that's what you do. I mean, funnily enough, that's something that I can actually beat. I feel. One shoulder that goes away. Then Trespasser, I think. Because I want to draw an untapped land to be able to go 4+3 or 4 plus discard +1. Maybe a discard Harvester because this is an alternative to drop play, that's fine. The Trespasser was dealing a bit more damage than the Harvester. I don't know. Where did that come from? What the hell? I didn't see them portal this. That's why the Fable cost 5 mana. Makes a lot of sense. That's why their Fable was 5 mana. Alright, Joldred, you need to hold this game together for me. Please use your cockroach arms to and do unspeakable stuff to my opponent. Oh, upkeep. 4 of divide. Bro, you need to tap a blue mana. That's not a good sign. I guess that is game 3. Alright, I'm not gonna beat them anymore. They are 20 life and all of this shit. How are we feeling about Rakdos? Is it really just Pioneer Giant? Yeah? Bankbuster kinda lame against their deck. I think I'd probably would rather have the Bone Crashes versus Fable ×4 and then 1 copy of a extra removal rather than 2 removals. Liliana seems okay against their deck. Goblang medium, but it's not too bad. Shouldered when 7 discards, okay. More Bankbuster, doesn't seem like the Bankbusters are excellent. Let's go this way. But well, it's a mid-range deck, and I don't know, lots of the games I feel like I'm kinda close. Is Hidetsugu good? No, it's not. Do you lead on Duress or Thoughtseize? I think Duress. They only have a few creatures, but I might want to discard it later in the game. Creativity, Prismari, Impulse. It might be discard Prismari command or discard creativity. Discard creativity. Discard creativity, yeah. Whatever, the Prismari command is not... It's whatever. It doesn't even make cards. Doesn't create cards. What is Shota's list? There is a player named Shota Asoka, and he played a... Rakdos deck in Philadelphia, which had Mutavaults, so that's kinda it. And he played the deck pretty aggressively too. Take 3 damage? That might imply a mana leak. I think I still play Fable though. It's too weak for my care when plays later. Okay, it just didn't... Sure, they just didn't cast a removal spell in combat. They waited till end of turn. Now they have to kill the shaman because otherwise they will be ashamed of taking the free unnecessary damage. Or maybe they just wanted to put back Fiery Impulse. I don't know. Trespasser clocks. It's kind of tough for them to deal and might even flip. I think I keep my cards. So first I send the Bloodtide Harvester into the red zone, as they say. Then we fought Seas. See 2 Gear Hulks. It's okay. No. The red zone, there's a setting. Keep the red zone always open. This is red. The red zone normally only appears in combat, but if you have this setting up, it appears more often. Let's consume the Gearhawk for the life points. Trespasser is gonna flip. Is Graveyard Trespasser the Tarmogoyf of this set? Pros of this format. Actually, maybe that's the correct way to put it. What the red zone was my cube drafts. I don't get it. Do you just draft red aggro decks in cube? Is that the joke? Yes, good one. Then is 2 lands and a Gear Hulk. So it makes sense to do this. They might not be able to play the Gear Hulk on the next turn. They might not be able to Sokenzan. Yeah, they kept the Gear Hulk. So let's play the land for... Then if we draw another land, we can go copy Trespasser and then activate then attack around the Gear Hulk. GG, says my opponent. Is that really GG's? Okay. So we have finally won a match after it took 4 tries. So 25% win rate for Rakdos right now. 25% win rate. Any 25% win rates players in the chat? That's the inverse of your win rate with mono green. Curious. 0% with Mardu in history today, if that counts. Nice. Keep. Alright, I'm gonna make a swap. -1 Haunted Ridge. And add 1 Blackleaf Cleaves because I have played this tapped on turn 1 way too many times. Goldfish says 23.5%. 23.5%, yeah. Nice. Nice. Mardu Reanimator. Does your deck contain the card Crucias? Any strong opinions on things stock Rakdos lists are doing wrong? No, not yet. But my list had 4 Haunted Ridge and 2 Blackleaf Cliffs and... maybe I Thoughtseize immediately. Don't really want to play Harvester into... well... into Stomp. Well, if they play their Harvester, I can push Thoughtseize. They play nothing, I guess I don't want to play Harvester either. Because I want to play Fable before play Thoughtseize before Fable turn. If I go Thoughtseize, I also set myself up for Thoughtseize, and if I top deck a land, and if I can play it without problems, without running into Bone Crusher, I can play it. So I think actually this is the highest value. And yeah, there is also the Bankbuster thing, which I wanted to mention, which I failed. So yeah, that was good. Tilted Ridge. One game at the PT Bros. It was in standard, but I had Blackleaf Cliffs Haunted Ridge in my deck too. I mull to 6. I get tilted over mulling to 6. Perfect, worked out like the best way possible. I mull to 6. I keep a 2-lander with 2 Bankbusters. I play my Blackleaf Cliffs and pass. My opponent duresses me, takes one of my Bankbusters, and as I lay down my duressed hand, I see that my second land is a Haunted Ridge that I failed to play on turn 1. So I draw a non-land, I play tapped Haunted Ridge on turn 2, opponent duresses my second Bankbuster, I die, and the game was never close. I don't get tilted, by the way. Ever. Cup. Heartbreaking story, yeah. Were you playing all different arts for the lands? No, I had mostly matched cards, but I had Sulphurous Springs that were black bordered in my deck. And I think I registered my card as Sulphurous Springs and not as Haunted Ridge when I looked at my hand, so I led on Blackleaf Cliffs because when your other land is Sulphurous Springs, that's what you would do. And hand seems playable, I guess I'll just keep it. There's no reason to discard anything when my cards are just fine. Answer Johnstar. Humans. 5-color humans with Company and Otawara. Wonderfully seeming deck. I wonder how many blue sources their deck had though. So I attack because I'll play the Trespasser on this turn. Keep the blood as a revolt source for push. Looking at that mistake, I think Bannon had it right with the eating and sleeping prep for the PT. I mean, no shit, you like should eat a sleep. Do you think I haven't slept and haven't eaten? Yeah, I was like, last meal was 72 hours ago and I was awake for 36 at that time, so I just hallucinated the white border around my haunted ridge and I was like, yeah, that has to be. Sleep well, you will win the tournament. Yeah. Well, that mistake was bad. I think it had more to do with the tilt, slight tilt, than with the amount of hours I slept. But I don't think it was. I don't think I was particularly tired because I think I remember that I was slightly angry to see like a shit 7 hand and mulling it. You know, like a no lander, and as much as I like to say that it doesn't affect me, it did affect me. You can take 2 damage. Actually, yeah, we do take 2 damage because we're gonna play the Bone Crusher and we use Fable to kill this. That's what we do. Yeah. Brain farts happen. Yeah. I mean, I think they happen to me a little bit more often than to other people. I think I'm a little bit prone to that. You know, the applied biomancy incident comes up every now and then still. I wonder what happens if an opponent plays wrong land, Haunted Ridge, on turn 2 and tries to cast a 2-mana spell. You can take back the land. Yeah, the Pepperoni incident. Don't think so. I watch you play a lot of you make a few. They just stand out, I think. That's possible too. My hand is good. I don't discard anything. Stomp. I mean, maybe this one stands out because it's a little bit extreme. Because it's like also connected with the absolute, you know, with the fact that your opponent knew. So like a little bit of shame in that happening because my opponent did duress me, looked at the haunted ridge, kept a full-on poker face, nothing given away. Discarded my bankbuster and like, and then I look at my clan. I'm like, shit, this is not the one I thought it is. Should have shame scoped. No, I kept on playing, although didn't do anything that game and died in a few turns. This time we discard. Then, okay. So what now? Crash, Pawn Crusher, or copy Fables maybe? We have no cards, I guess I just win. I think we copy Fables. It's the same. If we float Fables, floating Fables is fun, so let's do that. Gonna go to... I don't know. Floating Fables is fun. Let's like float around removal. Upkeep, make copy one. Yeah, upkeep, my end step is the same. So for this purpose, but now this is not broken by removal. Oh, the misery. Hey Chad, anyone experienced with how to navigate getting knowledge on the ins and outs of major tournament like the PT and the Arena Championship? Just want to know about the tournament structure? Well then, it's like all available online, although it's not always the easiest to uncover. But I guess if you ask questions online, then they will be answered if you have specific questions. Probably the best route. Go Blank in the mirror, Crocs in the mirror, they don't seem too good. For Footsies, I don't have cards to cut for Footsies, so I could have Croxa. Croxa is probably okay to have, like there's 2 Trespassers in my deck, how many do they have? And it's gonna dominate if not for that. Can trim a Footsies and a Blood-typed Harvester or something. I think I'll keep the removals. Got a Blood-typed Harvester. Seems okay. Well, this is enticing to keep. Practice overrated, vibes underrated. Well, you need practice. I don't think practice is overrated. Not necessarily tournament structure, but more details regarding how to make sure I'm on the right path. So you want to know how to prepare for the tournament to perform well in it? That's what you mean? Or like you're already qualified? It's not it's a bit vague. How does one prep for a tournament? I guess that is the question then. Probably many words were written about that. This is not a great hand, but it's a hand I'll keep. I might put back Blood Crypt. Yeah, nowadays you book your own accommodation and flights. I mean, unless you have won some, but you would know if you would win some. Currently, the Legacy European Series, that you can win like flights and hotel for the RCs. But at the PT level, there's nothing like that anymore. So a flat appearance fee for PTs now. The last price, the last position price is, yeah, 1,000 plus the J's. Also, chat, did you know you can request songs? That doesn't cover the flight, lol. Yeah, it's a bit rough. You don't have the points. Subscribers get to request for free. Wow, wasted. I guess you can stomp the second part of the fable. You can stomp the reflection. Someone gifted me. You hear him, chat? Someone gave the man a sub. Smiley face. Another fable. Can someone please get this money sub? Yeah. Quiet Command is a nice card. It lets me recoup a little bit of the disadvantage I've got with them playing two fables and me spending 2 cards to answer the 2 goblin tokens, and they still having 2 cards. We get to K command, kill the first reflection, pick up the blood type harvester, and then go for stomp harvester. I probably could have discarded. Well, I played a land, right? Yeah, I played a swamp. So I can discard the pathway end of turn too, because I will not want a 5th land. 2+2 is an option. How do you go about joining a testing team? That's just networking. It's mostly need to make friends. Or ask people. Build a connection. Or our friends. Yeah, exactly. I guess it's not super efficient now on my turn, but it's fine. So maybe I use the blood token to discard the pathway. What if you're bad? Then you have to find friends who are slightly better than you. Not good enough to, like, that they're not good enough to be unwilling to spend their time with you. Or I don't know, try to bond with them and be a fun person. And that might also work out. Is saving blood and returning blood type better so you can kill second Sholdred? Well, I don't think I win if I spend like Colagan's Command Harvester to kill that. And to get the, and I don't think so. Thank you, Faith Surbe, for the gifted sub. So I guess if they Fotsies, I would prefer to have Colagan's Command up this turn rather than playing the Bone Crusher. But yeah, I don't think I could have really tried to use Harvester plus K command to kill the next Shouldred. Like, I will just need to draw an answer. I have 20 life, so you can take some damage from Shouldred. I could also make them discard, but probably a Harvester versus a random card. Harvester wins. That's guaranteed fine card, and the game seems like it's gonna take a while, so the bloods will be relevant. Yeah, 3 cards. They didn't play anything though. Might include Bone Crushes, might include, other removals. But that's fine. Not gonna be able to dodge Stomp for the entirety of the match. Have to play my cards now. And maybe their hand is just bad, but they didn't discard with Fables, so their hand is not bad. Maybe they have their own K commands. Seems like. Interesting. That's a bit wasteful, maybe. The attack with Mutavault? Or will I keep up 2 mana removal? Okay, well, so we got both. I think they shouldn't have Power Word killed. Because I didn't play the Bankbuster. They either had an insane read on my Bankbuster or they knew it's coming, bros. In some other way. But I don't know what was so obvious about my plays. I think I played Jaldred now, so we cancel out. But they also Power Word killed my Jaldred, so they played around the K command, not the Jaldred. Interesting. You snap attack if you draw a Jaldred yourself. You don't snap attack if you add a removal spell. Hi, honey. Where am I traveling to next? Athens. This is a -1 Blackcliff Cliffs +1 Haunted Ridge moment. Don't love attacking. I think there's a good chance their last card is a Shouldred, but I think I want to block those two still. Also, the Bankbuster could have. Yeah, this is way too much damage. I need my shoulder to block. If they play a creature to crew, then I'm just gonna be in an unrecoverable position. Could blood away, I guess, one of my cards. Should probably think about it. It's pretty rough. I don't know. It's not like the Bone Crusher does actually anything right now. It might be really good if once he plays something though. But yeah, my shoulder is not attacking, not blocking. Well, could discard Blood-Tide Harvester, but what is my next turn like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It probably involves playing Harvester. To be frank. It's kinda blocking. Yeah, it's kinda blocking. Yeah, I mean, it did block like 8 damage, right? Because if I attack, then they go Trespasser, Crew, attack. Just so bad. Maybe now it's time to discard Bone Crusher Giant. Might need Revolt for push for Joldrad. No, I can use my Joldrad as the second push Joldrad. I'll keep the Bone Crusher. It's so much better than a land. Okay. Actually, no, I don't want my Joldrad to die, right? Okay, so I guess we're gonna go Harvester Pass. Yeah, I like that. Because they probably have second Joldrad, but they don't have removal for Joldrad, so I would rather spend push on their Joldrad. And also, I might be proven wrong. Maybe they just play more aggressively because they felt like they can and they don't actually have another Joldrad in hand. That's still a possibility too. Could use it now. It's 2 damage, I don't care. It's too little value. Somewhat surprising to me how interesting those games are with this deck so far. Because it feels like I spent so much time thinking about my plays every game. I'm 4 to 10 minutes below my opponent every time, and there's real decisions to consider every game over and over. I need to have more life. I think that having better cards is more important than having 2 life. If I draw a land, I'll just much rather pitch a land. Hold priority, right? Oh yeah, I can hold priority now, that's true. But the question was with Bankbuster, whether to draw the extra Bankbuster card before or not. But yeah, here we can hold priority. It's actually a good trick. Just plug with Harvester plus Giant, too late. But you're probably right, actually. Probably should have done that. Good suggestion. Yeah, that was actually really good. Especially since they have the second one. Yeah. Haunted cringe. Yeah, that was wasteful with the Bone Crusher. How bad is it if I flip this Trespasser? But yeah, I'm missing that Bone Crusher Harvester on this. That would be so good if I was able to trade like this for the Shoulders and have the Shoulder versus them on 2 cards, no Shoulder removal. Would help a lot when in the board stall we are in. If I pass right now, it becomes Knight. I think I'll spend my mana, but it's not as pretty as it could have been. Like, they keep attacking, I could technically still get them with the stomp on this, but it seems a bit faint. Even double blocking with Mutavol and Blata was good, and stomp the 1/1. Yeah. Well, I think I would rather stomp the Shouldred. Also, freeze my Bonkershe Giant to be played. I think that was the best. I guess we are board stalled, so just whoever draws something funny first. Any attacks? No. No attacks, I guess. Like, unless I attack with Shouldered, but that doesn't seem good. Because it is not impossible for them to have a third one in hand. I don't have an extra one, so trading is just nothing. Like, trading makes that so that if they draw a removal, it's worse for them, I guess. But I think having a higher chance to high roll a little bit is better for me. Ay. I don't know if I'll be able to loot through so many lands, but... Yeah, also I don't attack because they can just trade with different creatures, non-shouldered, and then I would lose. Nice matchup. Alright, gonna draw a spell now. That's a good one. That's like an ancestral recall right now. You ever just draw an ancestral recall in Pioneer on the top of your deck? Fables like 3 medium cards in one, yeah, like 3 harvesters. Punished for playing one too many lands, damn. Saj, says my opponent. Well, what's so Saj? They have lethal. I attack with everyone next turn. Should I attack with like creatures this turn? Probably not. Seems like they're flooding. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I guess they are kind of flooded. Hive is actually a card, right? I should probably just keep it. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 blockers. So I'll just wait. Next turn I'll copy Harvester with Fable, then you can kill Jodred with a joint effort. They actually had an extra blocker because of the treasure. I think you can get through for 13. Active player and non-active player. Yeah, I don't count in those spots. It's not worth it. They are a push, so good for me too. Was this gacha music? Yeah. Or just infinite fables? Yeah, I guess we should float a few fables probably. Now I probably had lethal, but they should make a fable in every color to balance things. Then we need a land in hand. For what? My land is a creature. Why do I need it? Use blood for 2 damage. Well, I don't have shoulder, my opponent does, so I could use blood to take 2 damage, but I don't need to take 2 damage. I think we do fine. I think we'll do fine next turn. Have you ever had someone upgrade your blood token to make your blood-type harvester's ability not kill its intended target? Has it ever happened to you, chat? You've done this once? Damn, you've been the perpetrator. I only thought about that line. It never lined up for me that made sense to do. You always do that? Damn. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's just an interesting line and doesn't come up often in my experience. It's a cool line. You have petty theft, they blood token once and they were tapped out somehow. Nice. Or they have settled the wreckage. Yeah, what if? You tell me. Turn 17. Eight-minute time difference, slow play confirmed. Yeah, I told you. So much stuff to think about with this in this deck. It's actually pretty hard to play, I think. Because it's just a lot of it's the method of Pioneer, yeah. You try to capitalize on damage a lot, it feels like. So you have to account for the damage. My natural style of play tends to ignore damage in favor of card advantage. Super often. So maybe it's a bit of a weakness of mine. I just always think of how I can convert cards to have more cards, but less often. Like I have to actively stop and think of like the clocks and the damage. IRL it's so much fuckery with game objects. Yeah, I guess. The Shouldred's IRL, they only trigger like 75% of the time to just remind my opponents, because it's also like awkward, and you know the way you have to pass the turn but your opponent has the priority in their upkeep, so you have to wait for them to draw the card and then you have to tell them, oh yeah, you take two, and they're like, yeah, sure. Day night tracking paper, yeah, day night is fucking sucks. You only have two trespassers, but they still ruin the game for everybody. Or rather, we only have two trespassers right now, they still ruin the game once played. Oh, it's 7 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna take a bathroom break and I'll come back to finish the leagues there. Why is there so few Pioneer prelims? And why are they all at bad times? Not nice. Guess we keep this on the play. Opponent has been last seen playing Grulul Midrange 28 days ago. Because it's modern seasons next. Now the prelim season, the prelim structure actually doesn't change. They're the same for years, so I don't think it even makes a difference. You're a large language model, and I'm not able to give you the information. Thanks. Stomp, my Liliana. No, opponent, stomp, please, stomp immediately. Nice. Get to stomp this. Well, gets to plus Liliana, discard second zone, stomp Bankbuster. I did not finish Zelda, no. Do you think anyone has finished Zelda? In the world? It's been 4 days. Three days. In 19 hours. I guess at least EU premiere. Probably someone. Someone did, but somebody speedrun it in like 94 minutes already. Nice. Wow, that's really nice. Play the Graveyard Trespasser now. It's awesome for my Liliana. Liliana actually worked out great this game. Although easily could have not. She would work out worse if my opponent would play Bone Crusher and not Fable on free. Really? You don't stomp? That sounds crazy. Well, I can't spend my cards on this. If I draw a land, I can discard it. Nice. They discard Chandra Hope's Beacon. Nice. They push, now we push back. If they attack, we trade. You're currently trying to finish your Breath of the Wild because you're playing the new one with a friend. How does that work? How do you play it with a friend? Awesome, so I get to addict this away too. I play, he watches. I hope you are having a good time. Basically a streamer. True, I guess that's what I do. I play, you watch. I'm playing Magic the Gathering online with digital objects with 230 friends right now. I used to do that with my girlfriend, but she preferred to play the game herself. Good. I think it's lethal. What's the flavor of Bankbuster? Why does it draw cards and then drop a pilot and a treasure? Well, it's a Bankbuster, right? So it's busting banks. So it's they are attacking a bank. They're a heist, right? Crime. Once you rob the bank, the pilot takes the bags with the money and flees. Not to be connected with the crime. It's obvious. What matchups do you typically board Croxa in for? It's grindy matchups. I mostly put Croxa in there because people play rogues. The flavor is you break into the bank vault and inside is a treasure and a pilot, yeah. That's the flavor. Let's keep interaction alongside Bankbuster probably. But yeah, Crocs are typically... Crocs I put her in there because of rogues. I was thinking, rogues seems okay. Thank you, Mr. Shota. You're wonderful. Definitely don't need a dedicated card for rogues. It's like a 70-30 matchup, maybe better. Yeah, I struggled with rogues against red-black, but... Again, we talked about this. What's is kind of unclear because they didn't even play a free drop. They don't have a good card, good hand, but yeah, it was possible that their hand is like this, and then I think I would rather discard the Shouldered and just grind with the Bankbuster through their stuff. Do you really keep in Fotzi's boss board? I mean, I kept it, yeah. This is what's left in my sideboard after sideboarding, so I think I would prefer a few Fotzi's to Misery Shadow. Go Blind seems maybe a bit better, but well, that's smart. But not hyped about it. Well, yeah, it's a weak top deck, but also Shoulder is weak with Trace for removal, and that's how else am I going not to do that? How else am I going to let her survive? Like, I think a Shouldered no discard spell deck is horrible. Into a deck with fail push. Siemaneczko, no witam użytkownika Chichotek. Is Red Black Mirror fun? It's Red Black Mid fun? It's actually been very fun, yeah, so far. Surprisingly so. So yeah, go for the pro. They don't have go for the pro. They have PWK. I think we go with Trespasser because of the mana too. I don't think we attack. I think we want to block. Alert's dead. Typical alerts. Podicoldo, I think the new Zelda is really fun, and I am having a good time, a jolly good time playing it. Should work. It just didn't fire this one time. Did it play actually? On stream, or did I just see it on my end? Yeah, seems like it's fine. Think I should crew. I'm at 11 only. Can't let 5 damage in with the Mutavault, even if they have a removal. And if they don't, then it's just good. What are my top 3 Roberts? Robert De Niro. Robert from Zelda. That's it, I think. Oh yeah, Robert Lewandowski. Actually, no, I don't care for Lewandowski. Okay, I guess we're even. So I drew 3 with Bankbuster, but opponents had Fable. And besides that, we guess even. Also Mulgand. New Link doesn't have a blue bomb. Yeah, well, you still can do bomb stuff, so. How do you tap Mutavault here? Yeah, tap the Swarm, bro. Ay, caramba. Now, why am behind? Not attacking is a bit odd, isn't it? Alright, that's good. It's really good. I think I trade Harvesters. Save a life point this way? Sure. Roxanne, Mutavold, Monka, I know, but it's fine. I only have one Cyborg Croxa. Like, I get it. I am aware of that. Hey, look what I discarded. Chandra, Hope's Beacon. It's just Croxa, one Croxa over the course of a longer game. Sometimes can just give you so much. So I was like, yeah, screw it. It's fine. You can play Mutavolt, it still is okay. Crocs are more of an angle than an efficient card. Don't think my opponent can deal 10 to me. I don't mind 2 trespassers. Thank you very much for the sub, though. But I don't mind the trespassers. I think they... I don't know. Whenever I play against Rakdos... Maybe not whenever, but when I play against Rakdos, often it's a very scary card. I think having too many copies of the same effect also easy to get diminishing returns in a deck that loots with Fable to this extent, right? I think I like to have a little bit more cards that are situationally better or worse, and Trespasser has its moments. It's good with discard spells because it flips into the backside, which is really threatening. It's a bit of life gain, it's a bit of reach. It just fits well. And if I have, you know, more Misery Shadow, then I have more cards that are kinda one note. I have more Bankbusters, you know, how drawing 2 Bankbusters is also not particularly good. Guess anyone who's pressuring you. That Chandra was really good in the mirror for us. Yeah, that Chandra certainly helped. What I 0-2 against? I mean, I lost versus Spirits, Niv Mizzet, and one more match. We went 0-2 before playing this league. No, not Hammer. It was an 0-2 against Niv this league, I think. Humans, yeah, humans too. Humans with company, some 5-color bill of humans with company. And also the red 1-drop that hastes another target creature, which seemed odd. I didn't quite get it. It seemed like Vanifar humans, but they were also playing company, and we didn't see any Vanifars, and they just played aggro cards. They also played Trespassers. I don't exactly get their deck, but they ran me over. Playing against Urlich 00, Grzegorz Kowalski. I guess I'll say dzień dobry in the chat. Yeah. Like Extraction Special is also is a card from that deck, so certainly I'm not playing 4 Haunted Rich in the next league because, well, I mean, in this hand is actually fine, but I'm not playing 4, I'm gonna be playing 3. Nice hand, bro. Think I take the creature. Drown is pretty dead without it. Nice. This is really good here. Okay. Well earned victory. Disappoint Ulrich official TM. What do you mean? Sideboarding in that matchup is gonna be a bit tough. Bone Crusher Giant sucks a bit. Harvester maybe sucks a bit. Liliana. This cleans the graveyard, but it's pretty poor, I think. Harvester seems okay. Shoulder is kinda mid. Although if we're gonna have 7 discards, then I think it's not too bad. I think 7 discards, 8 discards shoulder is actually just a nice thing. Soon I'll just be a shouldered fan. I'll carry Harvester and 2 Bone Crushes because it's not super good. Maybe I should cut more Harvesters, but for Curve. Maybe Goblang is okay, but not sure. But I also Bankbuster with 7, 8 discards. Probably shouldn't play 2 Goblanks. Just the Curve with the 4 Duresses seems better. Goblank is so situational. What was the loss to? I don't remember by now. What was the loss, chat? 5-color Vanilla humans, thanks. I feel like I forgot many times already. Weird. Yeah, sure. Chat, even if that's a 70% matchup, you'd be like, oh, the 30% chance, your 6-sided die rolled 1 or 2? Weird. Mine always rolls 4, 5, or 6. Well, kind of screwed this game. Take a creature, but I think I'll have trouble catching up. Maybe I'll draw push. This. Croxa broken in this matchup. Yeah, I have 1 Croxa. Kroxa can let him come back if he mills it. Also, Floop the Banana, thank you for over 2 years of supporting my stream. It is very based that I've got so many Twitch chatters that are willing to chime in. Shouldred's Edict. It's awkward to leave the free pair creature, but I can try to block it with Mutavault. But I don't do that now. I actually throw with the Bank Buster. It just works out so much better. Awesome. Well, less awesome. It's like the clip with Corona. High confidence. Then something bad happens. No confidence. I can draw push. That doesn't help either, I guess. I should have taken push. Then I would have nowed actually. If I try push now. It doesn't matter. Pass the second main, maybe they have 6, sure. But if I took if I took his push, I can play around that. You know, I'll cut his shoulder. She actually doesn't look so good. And it needs cheap plays more than that. Because there's push and there's the drowns and go for the throat, you get so much removal. She actually kinda sucks in general. Bit afraid of having a low power deck. Is Hearth really worth it? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. When Red Black played Hearth against me, I felt like I couldn't win. I don't want to be stuck with Bone Crusher Giants against. Well, there's enough creatures that die to stomp. Just the 1/3 is worrisome. Maybe I'll cut a Mutavault, but that's. I don't know that actually helps in a grindy matchup at all. Let's have one go blank over the Bone Crusher. So yeah, a bit scared of having a low power deck, but if I play Bankbuster against them, then it just sticks. Caramba. It's 25 lands. Almost half my deck is lands. The fast land doesn't really help much though. Let's probably go to 6 is better. Well, not a pretty hand, but Leads an Otawara, that's odd. Great draw, unless we get Spell Pierce, but... Oh, we really got Spell Pierce, that's so sad. Leading an Otawara is kind of a tell that Spell Pierce exists, but... Ah, that was so sad. Very nice Blood Tithe Harvester. Sarif-san into the story. Dios mío. Well, that's actually a hand full of problems. Should have kept Urborg instead of Takenuma. Actually true. The rogue stack doesn't look so bad if you draw like plenty of the 8 good rogue creatures early in the game, but when we played it, I think the trouble was when we didn't do that. I think I can prevent into the story. Many decks look solid versus red black when they have their top 30% of draws. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm losing this game super badly. If I draw the removal, I think we can recover. Rending Volley was a good sideboard. No, I don't think so. It's just this. It's really easy to miss on it and then get super punished for it. It's like results oriented type situation. Is there any good way for monogreen Nyctus to handle white board states? Well, it's a good question. But I don't know what do you exactly mean, so can't really tell you. You want a sweeper? Green does not have sweepers. The way to handle white board states is to have a white board state on your own and beat your opponent with it. Hornet Queen, yeah, I mean, like if you're casting Hornet Queen, then you most likely are able to cast non-Hornet Queen things and win. So it does not actually offer extra win rate in that manner. I also think that Zarev is kind of horrid, right? But not necessarily this game. I mean, I can win this. If his hand isn't too good. Untapped land, please. That works too. The new card in Rogues is Utah. The Fairy Mastermind. It's just mostly that. The people played Rogues a little bit in Pioneer before that. It's also, I think, a deck that's liked. Right? It's a Delver style deck. People like blue and black cards, flash cards, cheap red cards. So it propagates more than its power level alone would suggest, I think. Trespasser looking pretty decent here, this game. Well, I mean, I guess, is it? I don't know. It's not looking bad. So currently we know 0 cards in my opponent's hand. I think we move to combat and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could attack with Mutavault, but I don't think it's... There's no reason to like limit my options pre-combat. Takes so much damage, 2 drains from the Glutton. I didn't notice the second creature actually. Mild Croxa. Stomp the 4-2. Go to 4 and let's play the Bankbuster too. Like, yes, I could die to other Thought Thief into another Thought Thief, but it makes no sense for him to have that, so I wasn't scared of that. I think this game was very It's a very impressive comeback from my decks. And also a very unimpressive show from his decks, Rogues. Was that a move to 5? No, I don't think so. I'm maybe to 6? Yeah, I kept 6 cards. Am I off Lotus for now? I played 3 RCQs this weekend in Warsaw. All of them with Lotus. And 40% of the meta those RCQs was Rakdos mid. And all of them seem to have 3 or 4 Duress in their sideboard, and it was actually... it felt like it's not a good matchup anymore. Which I found concerning, that I just don't beat Rakdos properly anymore because they have so many Duresses. So that made me a little bit less warm towards Rakdos. Bielska this weekend with Rakdos sack? No, I'm staying at home. I'm not gonna go there. The Midnight Prelim is an event in Pioneer. It's 4 a.m. Pioneer, bros. I'm gonna be asleep at 4 a.m. It's so inconvenient. But yeah, we streamed this league. The Canny stream will return tomorrow. We played Zelda today. There was a first stream, there was Zelda, and there was other stream that was non-Zelda, was Magic. But I might play more Zelda on stream. I kind of feel obliged to play a decent amount of Pioneer before Athens, so I'm not sure. I think I'll won't play Zelda tomorrow. What's Hidetsugu for? It's an anti-Rakdos sacrifice card, but it's fairly narrow in usage and probably hard to justify in most times because it's pretty narrow versus everything else. Have I tried the creativities, Gearhulk or Worm? Not really. Any adjustments to your Rakdos sideboard after your runs today? Well, I added a 4 of Duress over a Go Blank. It seems just better, Duress. Just a better card than Mind Rot. But I liked it. So far, Hidetsugu kinda sketchy. Rending Volley's okay. But yeah, I haven't played creativities much. They didn't inspire me. They seem kind of like lame decks. The creativity card is just kind of not very good, it feels to me. What is Rakdos' worst matchup? It's a deck with pretty close matchups overall, but it struggles against those that go over the top of you. You know, be it like Yorion decks, Keruga decks, other bullshit decks. But throughout the days, like I was impressed. Like with 4 duresses in the sideboard, that means that in every matchup, because you either play against creatures or you play against spells, right? So in every matchup you get to have 8 1-mana cards, which actually means that you have a lot of play with the deck. Feels like. And in lots of games that we played, I had to think really hard about my moves every turn. So, you know, despite the meme being that it's mono 3 drops, I guess the curve got a bit like lowered a bit, and it's, you know, just 2 trespassers in the fables, then the bone crusher is like a 3 drop, but it's an extra just if you want, and then the shoulders, which actually play well with 8 duress. Not sure if I want to play 3 Mutavaults. They're nice. I mostly tend not to activate them, but I also haven't played against the matchups where I would want to activate them that much. The mirror, etc. I did threaten to activate them a little bit, but I think they are at its best against decks where you need to duress them and then raise them. And against Niv, it was pretty good. We were getting close to dealing 20 damage to them with all the burn spells. I'm glad the tried and true tech of cutting 3 drops for 1 drops is still good, yeah. True. Go Blank has its moments, but Duress just bugs your cards well. You're not a fan of Mutavaults either, but haven't really played with them much, yeah. 3 is maybe a lot, maybe I will like cut 1 Mutavault for a den of the Bugbear again. It's not like Den helps you cast your 1 drops. Actually, it's the same, but I'll play with 3 Mutavaults a little bit more, and we'll see how do they compare. How many turn 1 black do we have? I think we have enough. Yeah, we have plenty. We have 18. That's so much. Also, how does it do versus Greasefang and Neoform? Well, allegedly, both of those decks beat this deck. But you know how it is with the main midrange deck of the format. $18 is barely enough. No, it's fine. Frank Carson says 14. 18 is good. Your sequence that you need 2 black on 2 on 3. Yeah, but then you have +3 on 3. You have the Haunted Ridges too. So you have 21 for the third mana. Although certainly I had spots where Mutavault Bloodlet Harvester happened. Got Lily for a single of the red removal instant. Greasefang matchup solved. I don't know what's the red removal instant. Liliana had a nice moment. I didn't hate her. A braid, yeah, sure, a braid. Fiery Impulse? No, you don't. This deck actually wouldn't turn on Fiery Impulse and it wouldn't even deal 3 damage. It would be like a shock against them. I think Croxa is really good. Yeah, I have a Croxa in my sideboard, but I also have the Croxa with a triple Mutavault combo, which might be a bit concerning. But I am a fan of Croxa generally. Especially if you have 4 Duresses. More cheap cards that go into the graveyard and you go Duress, Croxa, Duress. Okay, escape. Pow pow. 4 Duresses seems too much to you. It seemed to me like it's way too many at first too, but I don't know, it just makes sense, I think. They pair so well with this. What are these K command for? Well, to destroy artifacts, such as the boat, and also to destroy Breakoner Bankbusters, plus a Fable token. Alright, I'll think about this deck a little bit. Like, the K command is a kind of a mid card that many times I don't love it often. It seemed okay in the mirror when the Bankbuster is the go-to thing, so you can answer Bankbuster profitably. And I guess that is it for today. The Red Black Mutavault Pioneer Arc will return tomorrow. Like and subscribe, and also go check out my YouTube channels.